Hey guys, TrepChains here, checking out the Delsere's Magnum Opus Energy Twister Wizard here on the Diablo 3 PTR, the 2.6.10. Been a number of changes here to this build in 2.6.10, including Mantle of Channeling has been reverted to its pre-2.6.8 state, so 2.6.7 and before, no longer having a 1-second cooldown on its activation. The Etched Sigil, the offhand that we're using, increases the damage here of my Energy Twister by 200 to 250%, and also now casts Energy Twister every second. So I'm getting auto cast of Energy Twister if I'm just here using my Arcane Torrent. Kinda nice. Ooh. I gotta be a bit careful here. Valthek's Rebuke. This is a weapon that I have in my cube. So it's been updated. So my Energy Twisters are traveling in a straight path and deal 300 to 400% increased damage. So that's a big one to have in the cube for the damage boost, and it's also helps keep the one-hander here for wearing in hand. And importantly, I am on the Delsere's Magnum Opus version of this build. There is a Legacy of Dreams version as well, but the Delsere's Magnum Opus has had a big 6-piece change with the damage boost from enemies affected by slow time. You'll see I'm trying to throw these slow times out often. Increased from 8,500% to 12,500%. So that's a pretty big increase on the damage boost there on the 6-piece of the DMO set. So as I'm running around here, I'm trying to make sure I do keep my slow times out. I do get some damage reduction from those as well. And just trying to get the twisters onto the elites where possible. When we're moving, we do need to just throw a slow time down occasionally, make sure the damage boost, the damage reduction at least stays up. But whenever we want to fight, you really need your enemies in that slow time bubble, or they're not going to have the big damage boost of 12,500% from the DMO. So that's pretty important. So you see here, I need to get one of those up. The build, I'm finding the build okay. I do feel like I wish the slow time was bigger. Most of the time you place it and then you do get cooldown from the, I think it's a 2-piece DMO. When you cast energy, oh shivs, I just got frozen. When you cast Energy Twister, you can get some cooldown, get your slow times up again. But I do wish I had a little bit more cooldown and maybe a little bit more resource regen in this build to be able to keep those up a bit better. So it's not like just a straight damage boost like some sets have. Like you got to do something active, which is this slow time bubble. So that can be a little bit tricky in some circumstances. So it can make it, I would say, a little bit clunky to play. Because you've just, if you stand there and you spam your Arcane Torrent, which generates the Energy Twisters, but you don't have a slow time bubble there, you're not going to be doing any damage. Like, the easiest way I can put it, you just won't be doing damage. Your damage will be basically non-existent. So it feels a little bit clunky at times, because sometimes it can be hard to keep things in the bubble, particularly like fast-moving mobs and stuff that just want to walk straight out of your bubble. One of the good things about this is I am wearing the braces, the Ransor's Folly. They have not changed in this patch, but you can see there my twisters give the mobs a little pull. So I can, if the twisters place correctly, pull the mobs into the bubbles, which is nice. I'm not totally GG at it, but that is really helpful. I did try this without those braces to try to get a bit more survivability, because I'm also sometimes finding this build a bit squishy. But I definitely think the Ransor's Follies are worth it. That pull into the slow times is really handy if that's where your twisters are, of course. Just trying to kill this yellow here, trying to place a little further so the gets the full lot of the twister going through the elite where I can, knowing that they are going in a straight line for me. So I'm here on the PTR, I'm at Paragon 738 right now, and I'm trying a solo GR100. The other thing with the squishiness of this build is for solo, I've found, at least at this Paragon in this level, I definitely need to be running Unity. So my follower has a Unity as well to help keep me alive. When I didn't have Unity, I was dying really regularly. I still am not necessarily very strong, but I'm nowhere near dying as much as I was when I had a bit of when I didn't have Unity. So I don't have COE or anything on this build right now. Ouch. Which would make this stronger if you're a high Paragon or whatever and you don't need the Unity, you'd get a bit more damage out of it than I'm getting out of it with the COE. It's also week 1 of PTR here. So while I am playing a seasonal character, and that's why I'm Paragon 739 now, I do not have the 4th cube slot. But that said, I wouldn't probably place a COE in my 4th cube slot. That's not how I'd use it. I believe, I haven't tried it yet because that's not on PTR yet, but Deathwish would be a great 4th cube slot for this build. So I think getting the extra damage out of it will be what I would go for, and a Deathwish will definitely give you more damage than a COE will, so that's what I would personally go for. Right now, I'm not using a Deathwish, right? So the main weapon I've got is a Twisted Sword, which I think is essential. So that's adding damage for each of my twisters out up to 5. So when I've got like 5 twisters out, they're on max damage. And again, I think that's definitely, based on my testing, a lot more damage than the Deathwish will give me, but the Deathwish would still be, in my opinion, preferred to some of the other options for the 4th cube slot for that damage boost. Okay, struggling a little bit here with these chains. The survivability I have does come a little bit from the 4-piece of this DMO set, so that's giving me, as long as I have these slow times out, I'm getting some damage reduction. I think it's around 60%. And I've also got my Storm Armor active, and I've got a Halo of Carini in the cube for the survivability from that. So that's kind of what I've got right now, or what I'm using for survivability at the moment. Plus, of course, the Unity on my follower, which I feel like is essential. On. There we go. Got him. So in terms of overall power, it doesn't seem too bad. Like, it's definitely, obviously, significantly buffed from what it was. But it's probably not quite where I think it should be. I thought when I read the buffs it was going to be a bit stronger. And it probably will be once I get that Deathwish in the 4th cube slot. But, you know, comparing to other recent builds, most specifically for myself, a Gears of Dreadlands Demon Hunter, it's definitely solo below that power. Like, I'm pretty sure I could do at this kind of Paragon with this kind of gear level a bit higher on the Gears of Dreadlands without too much of a problem. So I'm just doing a greater of 100 here. And I know with about 800 Paragon on day 1 of season whatever season it is, season 21, I did about a 108 maybe on the Gears of Dreadlands Demon Hunter. So it certainly isn't as powerful as that. So it could use, in my opinion, a little bit more power. I would prefer to see that if it happened as a boost to the 6-piece of DMO, from that, like increasing it from 12,500 even more. Just because, I mean, I like seeing the set used as opposed to necessarily a Legacy of Dreams version. Obviously, Legacy of Dreams, if you put the boost on anything else, it would also boost Legacy of Dreams. So it depends what the intention would be, but I kind of saw this as a good way to make this set, which is the DMO set, Delsere's Magnum Opus, barely used currently, used again. And I think for that you'd really need to put the buff onto the DMO set itself, like a bigger 6-piece buff than currently to get it up to, I guess, where I think it should be performing, which personally is similar to what I would see in Gears of Dreadlands. All these blues and I'll get the boss. I do struggle a little bit sometimes on the boss. See here, the legendary gems I'm running includes a Taeguk, so it's only really when I'm standing still I can get those Taeguk stacks building properly. And when I gotta move around and dodge stuff, I kind of lose those stacks pretty easily, unfortunately. But I also have a trap. Oh, it's only 99. My bad. And I'm running a Zaze because I do find, like, if I can get that little bit of damage away from them, it does help me out. Rift Guardian's up this way. I got... Well, I'm not sure how I'll go with this guy, but we're going to find out. Ideally, I would like to be throwing my twisters back and forth this way. Then they're going to hit him twice. But I've got to be a bit careful of the damage because he will wreck me, so... Might have to just go away and see. Oh, now he's going to run at me and wreck me anyway. The old-fashioned way. Prefer you up here, mate. Make sure they're actually hitting him in the right direction. Get them moving in the right direction. Out. So yeah, I'm trying to get the Taeguk stacks up. The longer I can stand still in one spot, the better I am at those Taeguk stacks. But yeah, as soon as I move, it can kind of go a bit haywire. Ooh, 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 I'm hurt. Whoa! I just used my cheat death there. Pick up my potion. Getting hurt, but I know that I can turn around very quickly if I get too hurt. But yeah, I'm not great at the boss fights yet. Sometimes, depending on where they are, they can get wrecked pretty quick, and you know, my Taeguk and the like. But right now I'm struggling a little bit. But yeah, overall, like, the play is okay. I would like it if my slow times were a little bit bigger, gave me a little bit more area would be nice. I think I lost my slow time there. That wasn't very clever. Get a slow time back up, Trep. Too busy focusing on avoiding his damage. Do definitely need the slow times. They're really helpful. Definitely always have your slow times up, and I think I might have lost it there several times on the boss. But yeah, I think it's a usable build. It just could use a little bit more power, and I really think the best place for that power will be on the 6-piece of the Delsere's Magnum Opus set. Yeah. Okay, so right now it's enemies affected by your slow time, and for 5 seconds after exiting, take 12,500% increased damage from your energy twister and a few other things. Okay, so we are on PTR. I'm now at 741 Paragon. I just want to quickly go over my gear. The gear is quite reasonable for this Paragon because it is PTR and we've had lots of bags to open. So taking a quick look, my helm here, running DMO helm with intelligence, vitality, crit hit chance, and 666 armor. Running shoulders with intelligence, vitality, armor, and cooldown. It'd be great to have them with some area damage as well, but I haven't managed to get those yet. My gloves here running intelligence, crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and area damage. My chest running intelligence, vitality, and armor. My pants running intelligence, vitality, and armor. And my boots running intelligence, vitality, resistal, and energy twister. I'd probably prefer armor to that resistal there, but that's what I found. Also running with this, the Endless Walk set. So my tribe pledge here, running arcane, critical hit damage, critical hit chance. So the energy twister I'm running is Raging Storm, which is arcane. And my compass rose here running intelligence, crit hit damage, crit hit chance. Resource cost reduction, I don't actually need that. It's just what I've got so far. So instead of that, you'd really want like a plus damage roll, area damage, etc. Supporting legendaries, running Rancelor's Folly. I think these are fantastic. So running these with arcane, intelligence, vitality, and crit hit chance, but importantly, they're the orange stat. So it's got a damage of energy twister increase. Mine's only at 241 and they do go up to 300%. But that periodically pulls in lesser enemies within 30 yards is really, really important for pulling that trash together. I find that amazing. Unity, so this is so I can survive. So my Templar's also wearing a Unity. Pretty well rolled. Crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and increased damage against elites. Etched Sigil, okay, and this is one of the things that's been updated this patch. So damage roll, intelligence, crit hit damage, area damage, and I've got that crit hit gain arcane power. So orange stat here while channeling arcane torrent, that's the one I'm using. And a few other things, the damage of your energy twister is increased by up to 250%. I've got a 249 there. And you also cast energy twister every second. So while I'm channeling, you can see there the energy twisters just spawning there each second. That's really critical. And my twisted sword here. So I haven't actually rolled that yet, so this could be better. So I've got damage intelligence, and instead of that VIT, I could roll some area damage on there probably. But orange stat there, energy twister damage is increased up to 150% for each energy twister you have out up to 5. So you want to have 5 energy twisters out to be doing max damage. I think I missed my belt here. Herd brushes binding. Intelligence, vitality, percent life, and armors. Pretty good rolls. But this just reduces the arcane power cost of arcane torrent by up to 65%. So that basically allows me to channel it quite well, and my arcane just kind of regenerates there, so I can use it as if it's got no cost, basically. Okay, in my cube, running Valthek's Rebuke. So this has been updated. Energy Twister now travels in a straight path and deals 300 to 400% increased damage. Having it in the cube gets you that max 400, which is fantastic. Mantle of Channeling, the description here hasn't changed, but the update in patch 2.6.10, we don't have to wait a second anymore to get that increased damage and take that reduced damage, which I'm so thankful for. And Halo of Karini, this is working with my Storm Armor here. I take 80% less damage for 5 seconds after my Storm Armor electrocutes an enemy more than 15 yards away. So that's very helpful when it's procced. Okay, Legendary Gems. I'm running Bane of the Trapped at rank 59. Stone of Vengeance at rank 25. And Taeguk at rank 25. I'm personally running a cooldown gem in my helm and intelligence in my armor pieces. You could change those into either rubies or emeralds for some extra armor, and critical hit damage in the weapon. I am only Paragon 741. So taking a look at my Paragon here in utility, I picked up area damage first, then went for life per hit, then resource cost reduction, and now I'm putting it into pickup radius. In defense here, I picked up life first, then armor, then resist all, and I'm now putting into regen. Over in offense, I picked up the cooldown reduction first, but you don't necessarily have to do that. It's just because I get a little bit annoyed with my slow time sometimes, because I'm trying not to manually cast too many energy twisters because of resource. So I could just cast more and not have a cooldown problem. But then crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and now I'm putting them into attack speed. Over in core, I started with movement speed. Everybody needs to. Then I threw in some max arcane power, and now I'm just throwing the rest into intelligence. Taking a look at my skill screen now, I'm running Arcane Torrent Flame Ward, Energy Twister Raging Storm, Slow Time Exhaustion, Magic Weapon Deflection, Teleport Safe Passage, and Storm Armor Power of the Storm. With passives Unwavering Will, Illusionist, Unstable Anomaly, and Power Hungry. Flicking back to my cube here for a second. So right now I've just got the 3 cube slots. For Season 22, my initial preference for the 4th cube slot when we're pushing GRs is going to be a Deathwish. For more farming, you know, Torment 16 and the like, you'd want something to get your teleport cooldown rapidly off. But for pushing, Deathwish for that extra damage. Okay, let's show the clothes. Red Rift 100 down on the DMO Twister Wizard in PTR 2.6.10. Thank you very much for watching, and GG!